Hello everyone. Today we are continuing with the hybridization in organic compounds. So already we have discussed in the previous class about when no pi bonds are present around the carbon atom, that carbon should be taken as sp3 carbon. If at least one pi bond is around the carbon atom, that is sp2 carbon atom. And if there are two pi bonds around the carbon atom, that will be called sp carbon atom. So some examples if you check, we can understand. See this one. Here, this carbon is having what? Three single bonds with hydrogen, one single bond with carbon around it. So this carbon has four single bonds around it. This carbon is having four single bonds. Four single bonds around it. Four single bonds indicates what here? sp3 carbon. That will be taken as what? sp3 carbon. sp3 carbon has which geometry? Tetrahedral. Tetrahedral geometry. Tetrahedral geometry has which type of which bond angle? 109 degrees 28 minutes. So it is bond angle. So like this, these are all information we can get by seeing the number of bonds, sigma bonds and pi bonds around that carbon. And if you take the other carbon here, this carbon is what now having, this carbon is having one single bond with carbon, one single bond with carbon, one sigma bond with this carbon, one sigma bond with this carbon, and one sigma bond with hydrogen, three sigma bonds. And how many pi bonds? One pi bond is there around it. So around this sp2 carbon, around the sp2 carbon, how many sigma bonds? Three sigma bonds there, and one pi bond is there. That's why it is what now sp2 carbon. And around this carbon, you check it here with hydrogen sigma bond, with carbon sigma bond, with another carbon sigma bond, three sigma bonds, and one pi bond for this carbon also. And this carbon, check it around this carbon also, how many sigma bonds around this? Sigma bond with carbon, sigma bond with carbon, one sigma bond with oxygen. So totally three sigma bonds, and also one pi bond is with oxygen. So here totally how many sigma bonds? Three sigma bonds and one pi bond. That indicates what? sp2 carbon. Sp2 carbon, this one. And sp3 hybridization here in this carbon, because this carbon has four single bonds around it. Is that clear, ma? So in this way we have to understand the concept here. Okay. So now next, if you take other example, in this case now here, this carbon, left side carbon is sp3, and second carbon is what here in this case now here? sp2 carbon, this one. This carbon is sp2 carbon, this carbon is sp2 carbon, this carbon is sp3. Why? This carbon has two sigma bonds with two hydrogen atoms, one sigma bond left side carbon with and one sigma bond with the right side carbon. So sp3 carbon it is. And this carbon has around it how many sigma and how many pi bonds? Check it. Around this carbon, how many sigma bonds? Carbon has two sigma bonds. Two sigma bonds with what? One sigma bond with carbon, one sigma bond with nitrogen. Remaining how many pi bonds? Two pi bonds. So two pi bonds and two sigma bonds. Therefore, it is what now? sp carbon. sp carbon atom. And the nitrogen with triple bond also sp2. sp. Nitrogen with triple bond is also sp. And nitrogen with double bond. Nitrogen with double bond is what? sp2. Nitrogen with double bond is, double bonded nitrogen is sp2, and triple bonded nitrogen is sp. Triple bonded nitrogen sp, and double bonded nitrogen sp2 nitrogen we say. So like this for now here, the type of hybridization we can identify based on number of sigma bonds and number of pi bonds. And one point is given here. In diamond, carbon is sp3 hybridized, and in graphite, carbon is sp2 hybridized. In graphite, sp2 hybridization for each carbon. In diamond, sp3 hybridization in each carbon. Okay. So diamond has tetrahedral geometry. Around each carbon, there is tetrahedral geometry in diamond. Okay. So this way we have to understand what the type of hybridization in each carbon atom. Okay. Suppose if you take carbon like this, right side double bond is there, left side double bond is there. Now if right side and left side, both the side double bond is there, suppose, then here how many sigma bonds? Two sigma bonds on either side, two pi bonds. So two sigma and two pi bonds indicates again what? sp carbon. So the carbon with the double bond on both the sides also will contain two sigma and two pi bonds. Therefore, sp carbon we have to take this one. So this concept we have to understand. So these are all examples of what now? Identification of type of hybridization on each carbon atom in given organic compound. Okay, ma? Next. So now another applications. So applications of what here? Hybridization here. So what we have to say, understand here? Applications. Applications of what? Hybridization. Applications of hybridization. Now in this application, first we take size, order of size. Order of sizes. Now order of sizes will be what this order? sp3 carbon greater than sp3 carbon atom, sp2 carbon atom, sp carbon atom. Among these, which is having largest size? sp3 carbon has larger size than sp2 carbon has larger size than sp carbon. So which is smallest carbon atom here? sp carbon is smallest carbon. Here in sp carbon, what is the percentage of s character? 50% s character is there. So more the s character, small size will be there. More the s character, smaller size. In sp3 carbon, 25% s character here. 25% means lesser s character indicates for larger size. So the order of sizes. So the sizes of carbon atoms we can understand by knowing the type of hybridization. So next is what now? Another application of application means uses. Applications indicates what? Uses. So uses of hybridization we are discussing. First one, the size of the carbon atom we can understand by the type of hybridization. Second application is that electronegativity of different orbitals. Different orbitals have different types of electronegativity. That point we can understand. Okay, so electronegativity of s orbital is maximum. S orbital means only pure s orbital here. Pure s orbital has what? Small size. Pure s orbital has smaller size here. Smaller size means what? Maximum electronegativity. So s orbital has what? S orbital, smallest size. So smallest size indicates what? Smallest size indicates for largest electronegativity. So maximum electronegativity for sp means s orbital. Next, electronegativity of hybrid orbital is directly proportional to the percentage of s character in hybrid orbitals. So if you take sp carbon, sp carbon, sp2 carbon, sp3 carbon. Among these, if sp hybridization is there in the carbon atom, that will have 50% s character. And sp2 carbon has 33.3% s character. sp3 carbon has 25% s character. So yeah, if the larger the means if greater the s character, smaller is the size and greater is the electronegativity. Okay, so what we have to understand here, sp carbon is what now here? Smallest in size, smaller in size. Smaller in size meaning what? Larger in electronegativity. Smaller in size indicates what? Therefore, maximum or more electronegativity. So more electronegativity for which atom here? sp carbon. sp carbon has greater electronegativity than sp2 carbon has greater electronegativity than sp3 carbon. So from left to right, from sp3 to from sp carbon to sp3 carbon, if you go, what is happening? S character is decreasing. S character decreasing from 50% to 25%. Okay, and electronegativity decreases. So electronegativity is decreasing here because of decrease in S character. When S character decreases, electronegativity also decreases. So that point keep in mind. Okay. So here, why is sp carbon is smaller in size? More S percentage. More S percentage indicates what? Smaller in size. Smaller in size indicates what? Greater in electronegativity. Electronegativity will be greater like that. So sp hybrid carbon, sp hybridized carbon is always electronegative, remember. So sp hybridized carbon can never be electropositive atom. Okay, generally we know that electropositive atoms are metals. Metals will form positive ions easily, na? That's why they are electropositive elements. And non-metals are generally what? Electronegative elements. Why? The non-metals generally form negative ions. So they are electronegative in nature. Now what I'm saying, sp hybridized carbon is always electronegative in character. It cannot have positive character. Electronegative character cannot be there. Always it will be having electronegative character. And sp3 carbon, next one, sp3 hybridized carbon is always electropositive in character. sp3 hybridized carbon generally, mostly You say mostly here is mostly electropositive. Which is mostly electropositive? Ma? sp3 carbon. sp3 carbon is mostly electropositive in character. sp carbon is always electronegative character. Always electronegative. There is no change in that. Yeah, why I'm saying mostly, not always here? Because here exception is what now? Exception. Morning we discussed na CH3 minus has one electron pair. CH3 minus is what now? Methyl carbanion. Carbanion. So anion means negative ion here. So this methyl carbanion with C minus has what? sp3 hybridization. It has sp3 hybridization. But this sp3 hybridized carbon is having what now? Carrying what? Positive charge or negative charge? Negative charge is there. So this C minus also has what? sp3 hybridization. So it is having electropositive or electronegative here. Electronegativity is there here. Negative charge is there. But still it is sp3 carbon. So we are not saying here sp3 hybrid carbon is always, we are not saying. But we are saying sp3 hybridized carbon is mostly electropositive in character. But sp carbon always electronegative in character, remember. Okay. Difference understood your concept, what I said? Let's take the screenshot of this one. Yeah. Yeah, next one, check it here. So now in this example here, CH3, CH2 plus, CH3, CH2 plus, same thing is what now here? C2, H5 plus now, this one. CH3, CH2 means CC, C2, H3 and H2, H5 plus. So it is what C2, H5 plus is called ethyl carbocation. Ethyl carbocation. So it is what now? Ethyl carbocation. So this ethyl carbocation carries what? Positive charge on carbon. Positive charge on carbon. Now if you expand this one here, if you expand this one, how it will be there? CH3 bond. Yeah, CH2 is like this. CH. Is it? So here now this carbon has what? Positive charge, right? So around this C plus, how many bonds are there now? Three sigma bonds. What are they? 3 sigma bonds are there. So 3 sigma bonds are there and one positive charge is there. So around this carbon, what is there now here? Sigma bond 3. Sigma bonds, how many there? 3 sigma bonds are here. So 3 sigma bonds are there and one positive charge is there. So this carbon is what now? sp2 carbon. What is this here? sp2 carbon. So CH2 plus or CH3 plus, anything. CH3 plus also has sp2 hybridization. C2H5 plus also has sp2 hybridization. Always the C plus with the 3 sigma bonds around it. C plus with the 3 sigma bonds around it will be always sp2 carbon. Otherwise what now here? Carbon with one double bond, one single bond. Also what? sp2. Also sp2. Here in this case, what now? One pi bond is there, 2 sigma bonds there. And it is neutral now, not positive charge here. No positive charge on this carbon. This neutral carbon atom has one double bond one side, one single bond one side. Then it is again sp2. Here this is neutral or charged. It is charged carbon, charged species. C plus with how many sigma bonds? 3 sigma bonds. No pi bond is there here. So this is also what now? sp2 carbon. This point keep in mind. Okay, and this sp2 carbon is what here? Positive charge is there on this, so it is electropositive carbon. This is what here? Electropositive carbon, because it carries what? Positive charge. This point we have to say. So sp2 carbon can be electropositive and also electronegative. sp2 carbon can be electropositive sometimes electronegative. And sp3 carbon is mostly what? Electropositive. Now come to this one here in this case. So in this example, actually we know that CH2 double bond CH2. It is what now? Ethene. Ethene is IUPAC name and common name is what? Ethylene. Ethylene or ethene. So ethene or ethylene is given by what? CH2 double bond CH2. From this carbon, if you remove one hydrogen atom, If you remove one hydrogen from this CH2, from any CH2, if you remove one hydrogen, we get this one. CH2 double bond CH plus. CH2 double bond CH plus. It is called vinyl carbocation. Vinyl carbocation. What is the name of this one? Vinyl carbocation. In this vinyl carbocation, double bonded carbon has positive charge. Double bonded carbon has what? Positive charge. If double bonded carbon has positive charge, it will be sp carbon. Double bonded carbon with the positive charge. And one more thing what we have to understand is that in this case now here, see, here what is there? C double bond and one single bond with hydrogen, and it carries what? Positive charge, isn't it? Yes, C double bond is there one side, single bond with hydrogen is there, and positive charge is there. So double bonded carbon with positive charge. Now around this carbon, how many sigma and how many pi bonds, ma? How many sigma and how many pi bonds here? 2 sigma bonds there, 1 pi bond is there, and positive charge is there, and positive charge. The 2 sigma bonds, 1 pi bond, and positive charge. It is what? Sp carbon. Remember, sp carbon. Double bonded carbon with positive charge is sp carbon, and single bonded carbon with positive charge is what? sp2 carbon. If all single bonds around the carbon and positive charge is there, that is sp2 carbon. Remember. Okay, and remember also that sp carbon is always electronegative. It can never be electropositive. Remember, it can never be electropositive. So sp carbon is always electronegative carbon. sp carbon is always what? Electronegative carbon, because sp carbon cannot be electropositive. Previously one statement we have studied now. So what is statement here? sp carbon, sp hybrid carbon. sp hybrid carbon is always what? Electronegative in character. Okay, here also same thing here. So C double bonded CH plus, though it carries positive charge, it must be electronegative carbon having what? Positive charge. Though it is carrying positive charge, it must be electronegative in character, because this carbon is what? sp carbon. sp carbon is always what? Electronegative in nature. Okay, is the concept clear, ma? So this point we have to understand. So in this way we have to understand what now? sp2 carbon, sp carbon, all these things. Let's take the screenshot of this, ma. Next, another application is that electronegativities of different hybrid and unhybridized orbitals in decreasing order is as follows. They give. So electronegativities of different hybrid orbitals and unhybrid orbitals, and unhybrid orbitals in decreasing order. So now see, listen carefully. Electronegativity of S what now here? S orbital, sp orbitals, sp2 orbitals, sp3 orbitals. Where S and P are what now? S and P are what? Pure atomic orbitals. What are these here? Pure atomic orbitals. So pure atomic orbitals. So pure atomic orbitals, what here? S and P. And what are these three here? sp, sp2, sp3 are what? Hybrid orbitals. What are these three here? Hybrid orbitals. So they are hybrid orbitals. Hybrid orbitals. So there are hybrid orbitals here and unhybridized orbitals here. So S and P orbitals are unhybridized orbitals. And here sp, how it is formed? One s orbital mixed with one p orbital. How sp2 or hybrid orbitals are formed? One s orbital is mixed with two p orbitals. And here one s orbital intermixed with three p orbitals to get 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. That way we have to understand. And percentage of S character and electronegativity in decreasing order from left to right. From left to right, this arrow you see here. Arrow means left to right now here. So from left to right, what is happening? The S percentage here 100%. Here S means what? 100% S character. 100% S character. 100% S character. And next one what now? How much of S character, S percentage in SP? 50%. In sp2 s percentage, how much? 33.3%. And in sp3 s percentage, how much? 25%. In P pure orbital, 0% S character. 0% S character. So 0% S character in what? P. So from left to right here taken the percentage of S character decreasing. That's why electronegativity also decreasing. So what we have taken, electronegativity is directly proportional to percentage of S character. More the S percentage, more electronegativity. That point keep in mind. That is one application. And another application is that bond length variation in hydrocarbons. In hydrocarbons, how bond length will be changing. So hydrocarbon general formula what? CnH2n plus 2, if it is there, it is what? Alkane. And CnH2n is there, it is what? Alkene. If it is CnH2n minus 2, CnH2n minus 2, it is what now? Alkyne. Alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, all these are what now? Hydrocarbons. So in all the hydrocarbons, how the bond length will be changing because of hybridization, we have to understand. Now, percentage of S character is proportional to 1 by Cc bond length. If Cc bond length is greater in the hydrocarbon, the percentage of S character will be less. If Cc bond length is greater, the percentage of S character will be lesser. Okay. Now here Cc bond length will be depending on what number of bonds between carbon and carbon. Between carbon and carbon, number of bonds will decide what length, bond length. Okay. So this bond length, if it is more between carbon-carbon, percentage of S character will be less. Similarly, it is inversely proportional to what? The percentage of S character. Percentage of S character is also inversely proportional to CH bond length. If C and H bond length is lesser, the percentage of S character will be greater. Okay. So this point we have to understand. Take the screenshot notes. Yeah, next you see now bond type, bond length, bond type and bond length. So first case what now here? First we have taken which bond length? sp3 carbon versus S. In alkanes, the carbon will be sp3 carbon. Between sp3 carbon and s orbital of hydrogen. Okay, in this case, what we have to understand here? In alkanes, sp3 carbon, it bonds with hydrogen, suppose. It is sp3 carbon and this hydrogen has s orbital. Pure hydrogen, pure s orbital will be in hydrogen and carbon has what now? sp3, isn't it? So here between sp3 carbon and s orbital, the bond length in alkanes will be how much? 1.112 angstroms. Need not to by heart, but you try to understand the decreasing order or increasing order, we have to check it. So sp3 carbon versus s orbital, 1.112 angstroms. sp2 carbon versus hydrogen, suppose you take here double bonded carbon bond hydrogen. This is sp2 now. sp2 carbon versus hydrogen. sp2 carbon versus hydrogen will have what? 1.103. 1.103. And sp carbon versus hydrogen, s orbital of hydrogen. So sp carbon means what we have take? Triple bonded carbon with hydrogen. Okay, so it is sp carbon. sp carbon to hydrogen. This bond length is how much here? 1.08 in alkynes. In alkynes, sp carbon to hydrogen bond length is less. In alkanes, sp3 carbon versus hydrogen bond length is greater. That means the carbon hydrogen bond length. What is here? Carbon hydrogen bond length decreasing here. Decreasing with increase in S character. When S character increases, the bond length will be decreasing between C and H. Next, another type of bond we have taken what? CC. CC bond. Carbon-carbon bond length. So here carbon-carbon bond length, how we have taken? sp3 carbon versus sp3 carbon. sp3 carbon and sp3 carbon. Both are sp3 carbons. sp3 carbon to sp3 carbon bond length, how much? 1.54 angstroms. 1 angstrom unit is equal to how many meters? 10 power minus 10 meters or 10 power minus 8 centimeters. You know this one. So 1 angstrom unit is equal 10 power minus 10 meters or 10 to the power of minus 8 centimeters. Okay. See, sp2 carbon to sp2 carbon. sp2 carbon to sp2 carbon in alkenes. The bond length is what 1.34. In alkanes generally what? In alkanes generally, just a moment. In alkanes, C single bond C. In alkenes, C double bond C bond length. In alkyne, C triple bond C bond length. So C triple bond C means what? sp carbon to sp carbon bond length is what? 1.20 angstroms. sp2 carbon to sp2 carbon bond length is 1.34 angstroms. sp3 carbon to sp3 carbon 1.54 angstroms. Like this here, we have to understand concept. Okay, so it is about what now here? sp2 carbon to sp2 carbon and sp3 to sp3 and sp to sp, sp sp2 sp2 sp3 sp3 bond length. So bond length will be decreasing if percentage of S character increases. In sp, what is the percentage of S character? 50% S character. So more S character, less bond length. So there is this relationship we have to understand. Okay, ma? If you want to take screenshot, need not to by heart all these values, but you have to remember. Remember carbon bond length values. Carbon you must remember 1.54, 1.34, 1.20. Next, now we are taking bond energies. Bond energies. So bond energies means bond strengths. Bond energy is bond energy and bond strength, nothing but the energy of the energy required to break the bonds. So bond strength you take. Bond strength is directly proportional to bond energy. So if bond energy is greater, bond strength will be greater. So bond type, what we have taken first, CH bond, CH bond. So sp3 carbon to s orbital of hydrogen. In alkanes, the bond strength is what? 104 kilocalories per mole. Means bond energy required how much here? 104 kilocalories per mole. If you want to break 1 mole CH bonds, if you want to break 1 mole CH bonds in alkanes between sp3 carbon and s orbital of hydrogen, the bond energy required is how much here? 104 kilocalories. 104 kilo. Kilo means how much? 1000. So 104 into 1000 calories. 104 into 1000 calories per mole. 1 mole bonds if you want to break. It is bond energy. And sp2 carbon to s orbital. It is what now? sp2 carbon to hydrogen. Hydrogen means what? S orbital. So sp2 carbon to hydrogen bond length will be 106. Increased here. Okay, increased. And sp carbon to hydrogen. sp carbon versus hydrogen. This bond length in alkanes will be 121 more. So here what now here? In sp more percentage of S character. If S character is more, bond energy will be more. So bond energy is directly proportional to percentage of S character. If more S character is there, more bond energy will be there. More S character in sp, more bond energy for sp carbons. Same thing, carbon bond energies. Carbon. If you want to break the bond between carbon, yeah, there are 3 types of carbons na? Between sp3 carbon in alkane. If you want to break the bond, we have to supply 80 to 90 kilocalories per mole. 80 to 90 kilocalories per mole amount of energy is required to break 1 mole of carbon single bonds in the alkanes. And if you want to break carbon double bonds, 1 mole of carbon double bonds, if you want to break in alkenes, how much energy is required? 122 to 164 kilocalories per mole. In alkyne, between carbon triple bond, if you want to break, the triple bond between carbon in alkynes, between sp carbon, if you want to break the bonds, okay, how much energy required here? 123 to 199 kilocalories per mole is required. So this way we have to understand what now here? Concept of hybridization. So more the S percentage, more is bond energy. Okay, let's take the screenshot. And what we have also discussed here, bond length and S percentage, what now?